Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's Wednesday, which means it's New Comic Book Day. Comics are hitting shelves all across the country and world. Also means we've got new trade paperbacks, graphic novels, and more hitting those same stores, and you should go check them out. Now, we've got two trade paperbacks we're going to look at, the latest two releases from DC Comics Rebirth. Now, Rebirth was the big shake-up for DC Comics, where they basically blended the old and the new, and it's worked out fantastic. It's been some really new stories, new energy, new vibe, attitude, everything to the DC world, and it's absolutely fantastic. This week, we've got two releases. The first volume of Aquaman, Wave of Destruction, Volume 1, The Drowning, and then we've got Batman, I Am Gotham, The Rise of Gotham, Volume 1 there. So let's start with Aquaman and discuss that. So Aquaman collects the first 6 issues of Aquaman plus the Rebirth. That's 7 issues at, it's roughly $3 a piece. It's 21 bucks for $16.99, so $17. You're saving $4 by doing that. So it's actually a pretty good deal just to get that. Now the story itself breathes a lot of new life into Aquaman, and Dan Abnett, who is the writer, nails it as far as that. I think it's a really, really solid job. And he basically really focuses on Aquaman being the king of Atlantis and having to deal with being both a ruler of a nation of the world and a superhero at the same time. Plus, Abnett recognizes that Aquaman's kind of a joke. The guy talks to fish. People don't really take him serious. It all comes into play here. It starts off with a bombing of a embassy and goes from there, and eventually leads to what's going on now with the Deluge and this giant battle between the United States and Atlantis. Really ramps up. It's really solid. I absolutely like it. It adds the politics that's kind of been missing from Aquaman, and a lot of folks have recognized that, but Dan Abnett has really put that in front of his storyline. Now, here's the bad thing about it. So now there's 3 artists that were handling this: Scot Eaton, Brad Walker, and Philippe Briones. I'm not too keen on the art. It's not bad, it's just not great. They switch it up pretty much like every other issue. Feels like it's got a different artist. It's very noticeable. Some of the artists are better than others, so overall the art is kind of like iffy on it. If the story is like an 8, the art's kind of like a 7 type of thing. It's noticeable, it drags me down. I really wish Abnett was given a solid artist, one artist to work with, or even, one to switch off with every other. The rotation of the 3, plus the styles being a little bit different, and I think just the abilities being a little bit different, it didn't quite work for me. So there is a downside to it, but if you like Aquaman, you definitely should check it out. Now, the reason I like to do videos for these trade paperback reviews is to go over what's inside. Of course, there's covers. We go with that, and they show off what you can expect inside as far as the style and look of the characters, and there's a little bit extra when it comes to the actual design of the characters themselves, which is kind of nice. So the extras aren't like rampant, but they're good. Up next, though, we've got Batman Volume 1. And this is collects issues 1 through 6, plus the Batman Rebirth, so a deal just like the previous volume of Aquaman that we just talked about. This is from writer Tom King, the hot writer who has been doing Sheriff of Babylon, The Vision, the Omega Man. Pretty much if it's on a top 10 list somewhere for 2016, Tom King probably wrote it. Kicked it so much that they went and gave him Batman. So now, this Batman's very different in that it introduces 2 new characters, Gotham and Gotham Girl. Pretty much like Superman versions for Gotham. They look like that. Now, you might sit there and say, that's really bizarre to add to the Batman mythos. It works really, really well. He uses it to, I think, some great narrative use, basically reflecting on who Batman is through Gotham and Gotham Girl, and really kind of dissecting and discussing Batman and pretty much Batman's psychosis is what comes down to it. Now, we learned a lot about these 2 new characters. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's been really, really good, and it's led into the second arc of Batman. But yeah, really good. I can't praise enough. Tom King basically picked up from where Snyder was going. Now, I don't think the book's quite as good as it was under Snyder, but it's still solid, and I think one of the best DC's putting out, probably one of the best Superman or superhero comics that are out there today. The art is top-notch. David Finch does the art. There's a little bit from Scott Snyder, I think, in the Rebirth issue. Ivan Reis is in there, and Mikel Janin, but I think David Finch is the one primarily doing the art for the series. The art is absolutely fantastic and amazing. I love Finch's art. Let's see here. Let's find some cool stuff to show off. We got that. Let's see here. What else? We got Batman flying a plane, like literally flying a 737 or 757 plane. The art is just, it's good. It's really, really cool. There's some great stuff in there. I don't want to ruin it. It kind of leads into the Monster Man story that Night of Monster Man after this, which was so-so, but then now into the I Am Suicide storyline. So basically it's just been this big giant narrative that's been running and been solid. Like, I really like this. I think Batman is probably the solid comic, one of the best that DC's putting out right now after Rebirth. And that's saying a lot because Rebirth has been really solid. Extras for this, just like Aquaman, we basically have some covers that you can see, variant covers, various other covers in there, and I think there's a little bit as far as character sketches. They've got the Greg Capullo's redesign for Batman. Some sketches there, which I think just shows Finch's art, top-notch stuff right there. Overall, they're really good deals. I mean, if you've been looking to check out Batman, you've been looking to check out Aquaman, you can't really go wrong with these first volumes. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Out of the two, I'd probably pick Batman over Aquaman, which is, you know, it's a tough one, but Aquaman, I think, is with the art kind of has me going a little. And if you really just want the story, though, Aquaman's solid. If you like the idea of Aquaman being the ruler of a nation and having to deal with that on a world stage, the world reacting to basically the ruler of a nation being a superhero, the book's for you. If you like the idea of the exploration of Batman and his psychoses and really who Batman is, then Batman Volume 1 is good for you. We're going to keep on going through, or hopefully we're going to be able to do reviews for all the Rebirth Volume 1s as they come out. DC Comics did hook us up with this, so thank you, DC Comics, for providing the 2 volumes. You can go get these pretty much Wednesday and on at your comic book stores, and then, of course, at bookstores. We'll have some links below to make it easy for shopping for those who don't have a local shop. Buy them. Yeah. Thank you for watching. If you're really into comic books, you can go and check out graphicpolicy.com. We've got all kinds of news, reviews, interviews, and more every single day at the site. You should go check it out. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky.